Your second step to reach your financial prosperity goals. Would instant reduction in the size of one or more of your largest expenses help you reach your financial prosperity goals? Now that you got your feet wet with the basic facts of the actual language of state and federal income tax law and regulations, what you need to do is plug two or three of the biggest drains on your financial welfare. Your second step is to begin generating additional streams of income for consistent accumulation of wealth. Whether you are a wage earner or a contractor or a business owner, you can generate additional streams of income by lawfully avoiding your federal self-employment tax costs and lawfully reducing or even completely avoiding your state and federal income tax costs, as well as your interest costs and any other unnecessary or excessive costs. Tax reduction and avoidance is not rocket science. It is simply a matter of exercising your rights to privacy, contract, and agency, and avoiding taxes not required by the actual language of the law. You can even lawfully avoid taxes that are required by the actual language of the law by simply arranging your affairs properly. What does the government say about this? In fact, all three branches of the U.S. government publish this very possibility. The executive branch, via, for example, IRS Publication 1, Your Rights as a Taxpayer, accompanying the first session. The legislative branch, via the various laws that protect individual privacy and the various very carefully worded laws that do not infringe on constitutional limitations. And the judicial branch, via, for example, the U.S. Supreme Court pronouncement mentioned in the first session. Nobody owes the public duty to pay more than the law demands. This pronouncement is item 5 of Appendix F, the courts, very near the end of the ebook accompanying the first session. How many people are aware of this possibility? The herd mentality has almost everyone convinced that there is no way to ease income tax burden. But if you have read at least the 42 recommended pages of the ebook, you recognize that there is a way based on the laws and practices of the land. Incidentally, if you have read the ebook beyond the recommended 42 pages, specifically Appendix 3, the Internal Revenue Code, you have verified that the U.S. Congress has until now neither established laws requiring employers to withhold income tax or Social Security tax or Medicare tax, nor established laws requiring employees to pay income tax or Social Security tax or Medicare tax, nor established laws requiring sole proprietors to pay self-employment tax, which is the employer's share of Social Security and Medicare taxes, and the employee's share of Social Security and Medicare taxes. Strategic tax planning is about acknowledging the basic facts of the actual language of state and federal income tax laws and regulations, and implementing lawful strategies to reduce and avoid the costs of state and federal income taxes. Understanding the simple, private, lawful methods for reducing individual income tax burden and the available methods for putting the extra money to work for the individual motivates the individual in implementing a personal strategic tax plan. Understanding the fact that the federal and most of the state legislatures have not enacted laws actually requiring individuals to pay income taxes reassures the individual in implementing a personal strategic tax plan. A lawful method to reduce and avoid taxation is legitimate because it is a lawful method to reduce and avoid taxation, and because there is no requirement of the actual language of the law to pay federal income tax or, in almost all states, state income tax. Legal organization. What must be done to ease income tax burden lawfully? If you are an employee or a contractor, whether you love your career and want to stay right where you are, or you want to work for yourself, or both, or if you are a business owner but have not registered your business other than as a sole proprietorship, the first thing you must do to ease income tax burden lawfully is organize your business in your state. A limited liability company, or LLC, is recommended, and thereby avoid self-employment tax for an unincorporated sole proprietorship. This segment of the session will be helpful and informative even if you have registered your business other than as a sole proprietorship. If you are working as an employee, struggling financially, and wondering how you can afford to do this, You can simply limit your income tax withholdings. Submit an updated W-4 payroll withholding allowance certificate to each of your employers to reduce the amount of federal and state income tax withheld from your gross earnings by indicating as many as 9 withholding exemptions. Visit the website for your Secretary of State and click on the link for corporations or starting a new business. Click on the links for search records and/or search by name. Be sure to enter the correct spelling of the complete name of the business you want to organize and search for it to be sure it is not already registered by someone else. The state will either return or ignore a filing for a name that is the same as another and may not refund any payment already submitted. If you find that the name you want to use is already registered, add to the name another descriptive or identifying word or two to make it truly unique. Follow the links and instructions to complete and submit the articles of organization with your registration fee. When completing the articles of organization, be sure to indicate the correct spelling of the complete name of your LLC. Use your existing address as the address of your LLC. And list yourself as the organizer, filer, officer, or president, and registered agent, so you can save yourself the annual registered agency fee. Also take note of any additional time-sensitive initial requirements of your state, as well as annual registration filing deadlines and fees, and keep a calendar with this information to avoid late filing penalties and administrative dissolution of your LLC. As soon as you receive your confirmation from the Secretary of State, which is usually immediately online and usually indicates a state identification or filing number, visit irs.gov and click on Apply for an Employer ID Number, EIN, and apply online now. Complete and submit the form to receive an instant confirmation with your new federal tax identification number. When completing the application for employer identification number, be sure to indicate the correct spelling of the complete name of your LLC as the legal name of the entity. Do not indicate a trade name unless you have previously registered with your state a trade name or DBA under your LLC. Do not indicate an executor, administrator, trustee, or care of name unless you have previously established this for your existing LLC. Use your existing address as the address, indicate your county and state, indicate LLC as the entity type and 1120S as the form number to be filed, indicate banking as the reason for applying and open account as the specific purpose, indicate your state registration filing date as the date business started and December as the closing month of the accounting year. Indicate 0 employees expected, unless you truly plan to hire employees and take on the various obligations of a payroll system. Indicate other for the principal activity of your business and personal services as the specific services provided, unless your business falls under one of the other listed principal activities. Review your information for accuracy and make a note of your new federal tax identification number, and click on the link to receive your tax identification number issuance letter online to get an instant confirmation letter in PDF format, which you can save for your records. Also complete pages 1 and 2 and mail to the address on page 3 of the instructions or fax Form 2553, election by a small business corporation, to receive a confirmation of your election to be treated as an S corporation that pays no income tax on its profits, if any. When completing Form 2553 election by a small business corporation, be sure to indicate the correct spelling of the complete name of your LLC as the legal name of the entity. Indicate your new federal tax identification number. Use your existing address as the address. Indicate the date of organization, the date you submitted the articles of organization with your state registration fee, as the date incorporated and your state as the state of incorporation. Indicate the current calendar year as the tax year for which the election is to be effective. Make a check mark in the box next to calendar year as the selected tax year. Indicate your full name and title, for example, owner or director, and your telephone number so the IRS may call for more information if necessary. At the bottom of page 1, sign title and date, And at the top of page 2, indicate your full name and address, sign and date, indicate 100% ownership and the date of organization, your Social Security number, and 12/31 is the month and day your individual tax year ends. Acting on your awareness, legally registering your business, and plugging the drain for taxes that can be lawfully reduced or avoided is the second part of lawful tax avoidance. Email your first name, state, phone number, and the best time to reach you with assistance in this regard.